Somewhere in your kitchen right now, there's a seed so small you could hold 1,000 of them in the palm of your hand. It looks like nothing. It seems like nothing. And yet inside that tiny seed is a concentration of compounds so powerful that modern cardiovascular researchers have called it one of the most important nutritional discoveries of the past 50 years. This seed has been shown in clinical studies to directly increase the production of nitric oxide, the molecule that tells your blood vessels to open, relax, and allow blood to flow freely to every organ and tissue in your body. Without adequate nitric oxide, your blood vessels constrict, your circulation suffers, your energy drops, your mental clarity fades, and virtually every system in your body begins to underperform. And here's what makes this even more remarkable. This isn't some exotic ingredient flown in from a remote jungle. It isn't an expensive pharmaceutical compound synthesized in a laboratory. It's affordable, it's available in every grocery store on the planet, and you can start using it today. But most people have absolutely no idea what it can do for their circulation and their overall vitality, and that's exactly what we're going to change right now. I'm Dr. Sofia Carter, and in this video I'm going to reveal exactly which seed I'm talking about, explain the precise science behind how it opens your blood vessels, and then share several additional seeds that work through complementary mechanisms to create a comprehensive circulatory support system that is genuinely hard to beat. The last seed I'll share with you has a mechanism of action that is so unique, most doctors have never even heard of it. So stay with me through this entire video. Let's start with the seed that started this entire conversation, and that's the flaxseed. If I could recommend only one seed for vascular health and blood flow support for the rest of my career, it would be this one. And the research supporting this choice is extensive, consistent, and genuinely compelling. Flax seeds are the richest plant source of alpha-linolenic acid on the entire planet. Alpha-linolenic acid is a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid, and while it differs structurally from the marine omega-3 fatty acids found in fish oil, your body can partially convert it into the longer chain forms called EPA and DHA that are most strongly associated with cardiovascular benefits. But alpha-linolenic acid also has direct, independent effects on blood vessel function that don't require this conversion. Research has shown that alpha-linolenic acid reduces inflammation in endothelial cells, the cells lining your blood vessels, and supports their ability to produce nitric oxide efficiently. But alpha-linolenic acid is only part of the flaxseed story. What truly sets flax seeds apart from virtually every other food is their extraordinarily high concentration of compounds called lignans. Flax seeds contain between 75 and 800 times more lignans than any other commonly consumed plant food. That's not a subtle difference. That's an entirely different category of concentration. Lignans are polyphenolic compounds that are metabolized by our gut bacteria into bioactive metabolites called enterolactone and enterodiol. These metabolites have been extensively studied for their effects on cardiovascular health, and the results are remarkable. Enterolactone has been shown to have direct vasodilatory effects, meaning it helps blood vessels relax and widen. It also has significant antioxidant activity that protects nitric oxide from being destroyed by free radicals, and it modulates inflammatory pathways that contribute to endothelial dysfunction. Multiple large-scale observational studies have found that people with higher blood levels of enterolactone have significantly better markers of cardiovascular health and vascular function. Flax seeds have also been studied in randomized controlled clinical trials specifically for their effects on blood pressure, and the results have been impressive. One landmark trial found that daily consumption of ground flax seed produced reductions in systolic blood pressure that were among the largest ever observed for a dietary intervention. These blood pressure reductions were attributed to the combined effects of alpha-linolenic acid, lignans, and the fiber content of flax seeds all working together to improve vascular function. Now here's a critically important practical detail that many people miss. Whole flax seeds pass through your digestive system largely intact. Their outer shell is so hard and resistant to digestive enzymes that if you eat them whole, you'll absorb very little of their beneficial compounds. To unlock the full nutritional and therapeutic value of flax seeds, they must be ground. Freshly ground flaxseed is ideal because the delicate omega-3 fatty acids begin to oxidize once the seeds are broken open. A small coffee grinder dedicated to grinding flax seeds works perfectly. Grind a few days' worth at a time, store the ground seeds in an airtight container in the refrigerator, and use 1 to 2 tablespoons daily. You can add ground flaxseed to smoothies, stir it into yogurt, sprinkle it over oatmeal, mix it into salad dressings, or simply stir it into a glass of water and drink it. The flavor is mild and slightly nutty, and it integrates easily into almost any food or beverage. Now let's talk about the second seed that deserves a prominent place in your daily routine, and that's the pumpkin seed. Pumpkin seeds bring a completely different set of circulatory benefits to the table, which is what makes them such an excellent complement to flax seeds. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest food sources of magnesium available. Magnesium is a mineral that is absolutely essential for healthy blood vessel function, yet studies consistently show that a large percentage of the adult population is deficient in it. Magnesium plays a direct role in blood vessel relaxation. It acts as a natural calcium channel blocker, which is the same mechanism used by an entire class of prescription blood pressure medications. When magnesium levels are adequate, calcium entry into smooth muscle cells is properly regulated, and those cells can relax and allow blood vessels to dilate. When magnesium is deficient, calcium floods into smooth muscle cells unchecked, causing excessive contraction and constriction of blood vessels. This leads to reduced blood flow, increased blood pressure, and diminished circulation to tissues throughout the body. A single serving of pumpkin seeds, roughly a quarter cup, provides nearly half the daily recommended intake of magnesium for an adult male. That's a remarkable concentration from such a small amount of food. But pumpkin seeds offer much more than just magnesium. They are exceptionally rich in zinc, a mineral that plays a critical role in hundreds of enzymatic reactions throughout the body, including several that are directly involved in cardiovascular function and male vitality. Zinc is required for the proper function of superoxide dismutase, one of your body's most important internally produced antioxidant enzymes. This enzyme neutralizes superoxide radicals, which are the very free radicals most responsible for destroying nitric oxide in your blood vessels. By supporting superoxide dismutase activity, zinc from pumpkin seeds helps protect your nitric oxide supply from oxidative destruction, allowing more of it to reach your blood vessel smooth muscle cells and promote vasodilation. Pumpkin seeds also contain significant amounts of phytosterols, particularly beta-sitosterol. While beta-sitosterol is most commonly discussed in the context of prostate health, it also has documented effects on cardiovascular function. Beta-sitosterol has been shown to reduce the absorption of dietary cholesterol and to have anti-inflammatory effects on vascular tissue, both of which contribute to healthier, more responsive blood vessels. The third seed I want to discuss is one that has been generating tremendous excitement in the cardiovascular research community, and that's the watermelon seed. Most people discard watermelon seeds without a second thought, having no idea that these small seeds contain a compound that directly feeds your body's nitric oxide production pathway. Watermelon seeds are rich in the amino acid citrulline. Citrulline is a direct precursor to arginine, which is itself the direct precursor to nitric oxide. The pathway works like this. When you consume citrulline, your kidneys convert it into arginine. That arginine then becomes available to the enzyme endothelial nitric oxide synthase, which uses it as the raw material to manufacture nitric oxide. By providing your body with abundant citrulline, watermelon seeds ensure that this nitric oxide production pathway has a constant, reliable supply of its essential substrate. What's particularly interesting about citrulline is that it is actually more effective at raising blood arginine levels than arginine supplementation itself. This seems paradoxical, but the explanation is straightforward. When you consume arginine directly, a significant portion of it is broken down by enzymes in your gut and liver before it ever reaches your bloodstream. Citrulline bypasses this first-pass metabolism and is converted to arginine in the kidneys, resulting in higher and more sustained blood arginine levels. This means watermelon seeds, through their citrulline content, are an exceptionally efficient way to support your body's nitric oxide production capacity. Watermelon seeds are also a good source of iron, which is necessary for oxygen transport in the blood. They contain folate, which supports the methylation cycles involved in cardiovascular health. And they provide healthy fats, predominantly unsaturated, that support overall vascular function. You can eat watermelon seeds roasted and lightly salted as a snack, add them to trail mixes, or grind them into a powder and incorporate them into smoothies and other foods. The fourth seed that I strongly recommend for circulatory support is the sesame seed. Sesame seeds have been consumed across Asian, Middle Eastern, and African cultures for thousands of years, and they contain a truly unique class of compounds called sesame lignans, the most notable of which is sesamin. Sesamin has been studied extensively for its effects on cardiovascular health, and the findings are consistently positive. Sesamin has been shown to reduce oxidative stress in blood vessel walls by enhancing the activity of your body's internal antioxidant defense systems, including superoxide dismutase and catalase. By boosting these endogenous antioxidant enzymes, sesamin provides a form of protection that goes beyond simply scavenging free radicals. It actually strengthens your body's own capacity to protect itself from oxidative damage on an ongoing basis. Sesamin has also been demonstrated in clinical studies to have favorable effects on blood lipid profiles. It helps maintain healthy ratios of different types of cholesterol and reduces the oxidation of low-density lipoprotein particles. Oxidized LDL particles are particularly damaging to the endothelium because they trigger inflammatory responses and promote the formation of arterial plaques that narrow blood vessels and restrict blood flow. By reducing LDL oxidation, sesamin helps protect the structural integrity and functional capacity of your blood vessel lining. Sesame seeds additionally provide significant amounts of calcium, copper, and manganese, all of which play roles in vascular health. Copper is a cofactor for the enzyme lysyl oxidase, which is responsible for cross-linking collagen and elastin in blood vessel walls, giving them both strength and flexibility. Without adequate copper, blood vessels lose their structural integrity and become prone to damage. There's another remarkable property of sesamin that deserves mention. Research has shown that sesamin enhances the bioavailability and extends the activity of vitamin E in the body. It does this by inhibiting the enzymes that normally metabolize and eliminate vitamin E. Since vitamin E is one of the most important fat-soluble antioxidants protecting your blood vessel membranes, this extension of vitamin E activity has direct positive implications for vascular health. If you consume sesame seeds alongside foods rich in vitamin E, such as sunflower seeds or almonds, the sesamin will help your body retain and utilize that vitamin E more effectively. Sesame seeds can be eaten raw or lightly toasted. Tahini, which is a paste made from ground sesame seeds, is an excellent way to incorporate larger amounts into your diet. It can be used as a spread, mixed into dressings, drizzled over vegetables, or simply eaten by the spoonful. The fifth seed I want to highlight is the sunflower seed. Sunflower seeds are widely available, affordable, and extremely rich in vitamin E, particularly in the alpha-tocopherol form. A single quarter-cup serving of sunflower seeds provides over 80% of the daily recommended intake of vitamin E. Vitamin E is the primary fat-soluble antioxidant that protects cell membranes throughout your body, including the membranes of endothelial cells lining your blood vessels. When these cell membranes are damaged by oxidative stress, endothelial function declines, nitric oxide production drops, and blood vessels become less responsive. By providing robust antioxidant protection to endothelial cell membranes, vitamin E helps maintain the functional integrity of the cells that are literally responsible for producing nitric oxide and regulating blood flow. Sunflower seeds also contain significant amounts of selenium, a trace mineral that is essential for the production of glutathione peroxidase, another critical antioxidant enzyme in your body. Glutathione peroxidase works alongside superoxide dismutase and catalase to form your body's internal antioxidant defense network, and selenium is the mineral that makes glutathione peroxidase functional. Without adequate selenium, this enzyme cannot do its job, and oxidative stress accumulates more rapidly in your tissues, including your blood vessels. Additionally, sunflower seeds provide phytosterols that support cardiovascular health, healthy monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats that maintain cell membrane fluidity, and pantothenic acid, also known as vitamin B5, which is involved in the production of coenzyme A molecule essential for energy metabolism in every cell of your body, including the cells of your heart and blood vessels. When you combine the sesamin from sesame seeds with the vitamin E from sunflower seeds, you create a particularly powerful synergy. The sesamin extends vitamin E activity in the body, while the vitamin E provides the actual antioxidant protection. Together, they deliver a sustained, amplified antioxidant effect that exceeds what either seed could provide alone. Now let me share the sixth and final seed, the one I mentioned at the beginning that has a mechanism of action so unique that most doctors have never heard of it. That seed is the celery seed. Celery seeds contain a compound called 3-N-butylphthalide, which is a phthalide compound unique to the celery plant family. This compound has been the subject of significant research, particularly in Asian medical literature, and its effects on blood flow are genuinely unlike anything produced by the other seeds we've discussed. 3-N-butylphthalide works by relaxing the smooth muscle cells within blood vessel walls through a mechanism that involves the regulation of intracellular calcium levels. But unlike magnesium, which acts broadly as a calcium channel blocker, 3-N-butylphthalide appears to modulate calcium signaling specifically within vascular smooth muscle through a more targeted pathway involving prostacyclin production and the suppression of catecholamine-induced vasoconstriction. In simpler terms, it helps prevent the blood vessel tightening that occurs when stress hormones like adrenaline and noradrenaline tell your blood vessels to constrict. This is a profoundly important mechanism because one of the most common reasons for poor circulation, especially in men over 50, is chronic overactivation of the sympathetic nervous system. Everyday chronic stress keeps sympathetic tone elevated, which means stress hormones are constantly telling your blood vessels to constrict. Even if you're producing adequate nitric oxide, the constriction signals from stress hormones can override the relaxation signals from nitric oxide, resulting in persistently poor circulation. 3-N-butylphthalide from celery seeds helps tip the balance back in favor of relaxation by specifically counteracting this stress-driven constriction. Clinical research on celery seed extract has demonstrated measurable reductions in blood pressure and improvements in blood flow markers. The compound has also shown anti-inflammatory effects in vascular tissue and appears to protect endothelial cells from damage caused by oxidative stress. Celery seeds can be consumed as a spice added to foods, brewed as a tea, or taken as a concentrated extract. As a spice, they have a distinctive savory, slightly bitter flavor that works well in soups, stews, dressings, and vegetable dishes. As a tea, steeping 1 teaspoon of celery seeds in hot water for 10 to 15 minutes creates a mild, herbaceous beverage that can be consumed once or twice daily. Now let me bring this all together and explain why a combined approach using multiple seeds is so much more powerful than relying on any single one. Each of these seeds addresses blood flow and vascular health through a different primary mechanism. Flax seeds provide alpha-linolenic acid and lignans that reduce vascular inflammation and support endothelial function at the most fundamental level. Pumpkin seeds deliver magnesium that acts as a natural calcium channel blocker and zinc that protects nitric oxide from oxidative destruction. Watermelon seeds supply citrulline that directly feeds the nitric oxide production pathway by providing the essential substrate for the enzyme that manufactures it. Sesame seeds offer sesamin that strengthens your body's internal antioxidant defenses and enhances vitamin E activity. Sunflower seeds provide vitamin E and selenium that protect endothelial cell membranes and support glutathione peroxidase function. And celery seeds contain 3-N-butylphthalide that specifically counteracts stress-driven vasoconstriction through a mechanism entirely unique from all the others. When you consume several of these seeds as part of your daily routine, you're supporting blood flow from virtually every relevant biological angle simultaneously. You're providing the raw materials for nitric oxide production. You're protecting that nitric oxide from destruction. You're reducing the inflammation that impairs endothelial function. You're blocking the excessive calcium influx that causes vessel constriction. You're strengthening your body's internal antioxidant defenses. And you're counteracting the stress-driven signals that override your body's natural vasodilation mechanisms. No single seed, no single supplement, and no single pharmaceutical can address all of these pathways at once. But a thoughtful, strategic combination of these 6 seeds covers them all. The practical application is simple and enjoyable. You can create a daily seed blend by combining ground flaxseed, raw pumpkin seeds, roasted watermelon seeds, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, and a small amount of ground celery seed. Store this blend in a sealed container in the refrigerator to preserve the delicate omega-3 fatty acids in the flaxseed. A tablespoon or 2 of this blend daily, added to smoothies, sprinkled over salads, stirred into yogurt, or simply eaten as a snack, delivers a comprehensive spectrum of circulatory support compounds that work synergistically to keep your blood vessels open, flexible, and responsive. Quality matters with seeds just as it does with any therapeutic food. Choose organic seeds whenever possible to minimize exposure to pesticide residues. Purchase seeds that are fresh and have been stored properly, as the healthy fats in seeds can go rancid when exposed to heat, light, and air for extended periods. Raw or lightly roasted seeds retain more of their bioactive compounds than heavily processed or flavored varieties. Consistency is the key to results. These seeds work by gradually shifting your body's biochemistry in a favorable direction. The anti-inflammatory effects accumulate over time. The antioxidant protection builds with consistent daily intake. The nitric oxide support becomes more robust as your body's substrate supplies and enzyme systems are steadily optimized. Think of this not as a one-time intervention, but as a daily practice, a small but profoundly impactful habit that compounds in its benefits week after week and month after month. If this video gave you something valuable, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more evidence-based health content. I'm Dr. Sofia Carter, and I'll see you in the next one.